Okay, hi guys, this is my final presentation for the school law class. My name is Andrew Curley. I am currently hiding in my bedroom from my toddler, so if you hear some screeching or banging on the door, it's her. So let's look through this. So what do we know? I try to look at this from a truly legal aspect. What is relevant to the case? I didn't feel like the student demographics or the location of the school was relevant to the case. These are the things I did find relevant to the case and the investigation. Miss Tate is in her second year of teaching. She has been receiving complaints from a high level of stress, was what I read in the case study about her classes. Students felt stressed in her classes, and it was really rigorous classes. She's been giving recommendations on how to reduce student stress in her classroom and has not used these recommendations or implemented these strategies. Miss Tate was sent an unidentified email. This email had a link to a website which had negative comments and vulgar words describing dislike of Miss Tate. The final comment in the website asked who wants Miss Tate to disappear. So what do we need to know? I think we need a class list of students for each year of her classes this year and last year, because there's no guarantee that the threat came from students this year. There's not even a guarantee that the threat came from a student. It could have been a parent. It could have been a staff member. So it's also important to compile a list of complaints against Miss Tate and who filed those complaints. I think it's important to know whether the email was sent to her personal or school email. I know there's some regulations about opening unidentified sender emails in my school as a staff member, so I think that's important to know as well if she violated policy by opening an unidentified email. The origin of the email should be retrieved, if possible, by the district technologist as mentioned in the case. That was a possibility. The problem is Miss Tate received evidence of a threat to her life, and she felt like it was a threat to her life, which is what's important, not what Dr. Smith felt was a threat, but what Miss Tate felt was a threat. Plan of action. If she feels her life is in danger, she must report this to the police. So Dr. Smith can't tell her that this isn't something she should be reporting, or he doesn't feel like it's a valid threat. If she feels like her life is in danger and she feels like there's a threat, she needs to report this to the police. As a leader, I think it's important to place Miss Tate on a paid leave until the police can conclude that it's safe for her to return to school. So if she feels her life is in danger and there has been no police that has looked at the evidence and decided that she's safe and she returns and something was to happen, then the district would be at fault. So it's really important to make sure she feels like there's a threat. We report the threat to the police and she's placed in a safe location on paid leave until we have proof from the police and they've concluded that it's safe for her to return to the school. I think it's important to provide a report to the superintendent, make sure that they are included in this, as this is now being elevated to police action. I think it's important to gather a list of her students from the past 2 years, a list of complaints, and then asking the district technologist to help determine where the emails originated. Because this case has now been handed over to the police, there's really nothing more that we should be doing unless asked specifically to do by the police. And for the safety of Miss Tate, I think it's important that we're not poking around and talking to people and letting the police do that. Future plan of action, how could I maybe prevent this from happening in the future? So providing students with a review of internet safety policies of the school, encouraging students to resolve any conflicts or concerns with a teacher face-to-face, providing clear and consistent discipline to any student who violates the safety policy. For teachers and staff, it's important to review the safety policy as well, including, I think this is really important, not opening emails from an unknown sender. So if you receive an email from an unknown sender, I think Ms. Tate should have reported that immediately to the technology person in her building or in the district for her safety, because that's definitely a way that computers are downloading viruses on them. Provide professional development to teachers who are receiving negative complaints regarding relationships and classroom rigor. So I think it's important that all teachers who have been receiving complaints, yes, the case only talks about Miss Tate because she's relevant, but maybe other teachers in the school have received similar complaints, and a professional development activity is important to help these teachers learn better ways in which to manage classroom stress and classroom rigor, and provide trust-building exercises to help build positive student-teacher relationships in the classroom. So, resolution: informing police first and allowing them to formally determine the severity of the threat before taking action provides a feeling of safety and understanding rather than a zero tolerance judgment of students. So instead of me saying, oh, she said it was William Hall needs to be punished, I'm taking the threat really seriously and I'm letting the police do their job in determining the severity of the threat. Taking the time to move through a democratic gathering and analysis of all the facts allows the schools to make much more effective punishments, as is proven in the scientific article by Lewinsky, Cassianis, Ryan, and Burhan. No definitive resolution was based on the facts provided. So there is no, like, this kid did it, we know it based on the facts. So I believe an administrator should make sure that Miss Tate feels protected, safe, and valued regardless of the complaints against her. Provide clear rules regarding internet bullying and remind teachers, students, staff, and parents that internet bullying will not be tolerated. Rebuild a climate of trust between the teachers and the students, and also the teachers and the parents. And provide Miss Tate with a positive teacher mentor to help her navigate through teaching when she returns in a way that's encouraging to her, and she doesn't feel like she's being challenged or threatened, her way of teaching. So thinking, feeling, and valuing. When I was reading this, I was thinking that the parents and students were really upset, and so Miss Tate must be missing something in her classroom that other teachers have. From the case study, I do not know exactly what that is. It seems that there's stress, but we're not quite sure what is triggering the stress. Maybe shortened time to work on assignments. I mean, it could be a plethora of things. So I didn't want to jump to conclusions about what that was. And then I really think Dr. Smith should not have told Miss Tate not to go to the police. If she feels her life is being threatened, he should have supported her and believed her and helped her navigate reporting that to the police so that her safety is the number one concern. Feelings: I felt terrible that a new teacher is being treated like this, and fears for her life. She genuinely fears for her life. She's choosing to drive an additional 3 hours back to her parents' house instead of staying in her apartment. And I was upset that Dr. Smith seemed to not take the threat as seriously as Miss Tate. Valuing the student-teacher relationships and the teacher-parent relationships. I think really I was valuing, and we need to just think about that more, the safety of my staff and students. And I was noticing the pattern that Miss Tate is being reported and has been reported for a couple years of being a really rigorous teacher. So unresolved issues. We don't know who issued the threat against Miss Tate. We don't know if it's safe for her to return to work. We don't know what in her teaching practices is making unsuccessful for student learning or for stress in the student's classroom. We don't know what parent complaints were, what students' complaints were against Miss Tate, and we're not able to resolve those based on the case. And then Miss Tate has not been implemented for the suggestion from Mr. Smith. So she has not been using the suggestions. Dr. Smith, I need to correct that. Dr. Smith has been suggesting to help her improve classroom management and classroom relationships with her students. So first component: how did you, the education leader at the building, apply knowledge that promotes the success of every student by acting with integrity? It provided opportunities for reteaching internet safety policies, taking student and parent complaints seriously, and providing professional development and mentor-teacher for Miss Tate. By doing this, I'm validating the students and the parents' concerns and building trust with that community. I'm informing the police of the threat immediately and validating Miss Tate's fears and placing the safety of the students and staff at the utmost importance. So how did you, the educator and the leader in the building, apply knowledge that promotes the success of every student? By acting with fairness. So by conducting a full investigation and not assuming that William Hall is the culprit, I've allowed students to feel they will never be punished based on rumors but on facts alone. I'm conducting a thorough investigation with the help of police before acting on any suspicions. I'm investigating using the local authorities regarding online threats to ensure the correct culprit is located and punished appropriately, including the input of students, parents, other staff members, and Ms. Tate when conducting the investigation. So how did I apply knowledge that promotes the success of every student? By acting in an ethical manner. By providing a mentor-teacher program for Ms. Tate, I'm supporting her but also correcting something that needs to be corrected in her teaching processing, promoting teacher-student relationships through skill-building activities, and informing the police when Miss Tate mentions she feels her life is in danger. Definitely conducting myself in an ethical manner and keeping my students safe in an ethical way. That is it. I've enjoyed learning and working with all of you this semester, and I definitely learned a lot more about law than I had not previously known.